Okay.
Welcome to another Accelerated Solution LLC video vlog. Not sure if I'm supposed to say that twice. Probably by the third video, I'll actually have some idea of what I'm doing. But you've already met with your attorney. You kind of know how the structures work, whether you should go with an LLC, whether you should go with a corporation. We know you don't want to be a sole proprietor. We know you don't want to have just a doing business as. We know you don't want a partnership. I didn't even cover those because you don't want to do them. So they're not even an option as far as I'm concerned. Now, we talked about that team. We have our corporation, we have our company set up, but now let's talk about the money. What do we do about the money? The next step in your business is to create what they call an EIN. It's an employer identification number. That is what you communicate with to the IRS. So you can go ahead and Google that, find out what to do, fill out the form, get the number. You then take that to your bank account and you need to sit down with a banker. Depending on how you want to do your business model, the banker may or may not be a partner. Some people want to use cash. Some people want to have earned income and reinvest that in their company. So they have very low leverage and they don't have to worry about debt, payments, bankers, things like that. As you grow, you may decide to use that as a tool, but we'll get to that a little bit later in another video. So right now, you need to sit down with that banker and you need to find out, hey, what can I do to open up an account? We want a separate business account. What's extremely important about this account is once you get your EIN and once you set up your business account, that you keep that money separate. Do not pay your Kohl's bill with it. Do not go to Walmart. Don't go to dinner unless it's a business expense. Have all your business income come into that bank account with that EIN, with your company name on it. Then you take out what's called a draw each month and you use that to live on, and you kind of put some of it away for taxes. It's extremely important that you don't just go using personal credit cards and checks and commingle them. You just don't want to do that. There's only one thing in the world that I'm afraid of, and it's the IRS. But I'm also not afraid of them because I have a CPA, a certified public accountant. Now some people will tell you, you don't need a CPA, they're expensive. All you need is somebody to prepare your taxes. We're going to cover taxes in another video, but I want you to think about something. How often do you spend time reducing your phone bill by 10 bucks, your electrical or heating bill, by $7, $17, your car insurance by $12? But what is your number one expense in this world, in your life? That's taxes. Don't you want somebody on your team that's going to help you? You may not realize, but $1,000 of difference in income could be a 10% difference in taxes. The way you word something when you sell your services or business might be the difference between a lower tax bracket or a earned income taxes. Either way, it's extremely important that you keep your money separate and that you work with a CPA, a certified public accountant, and some of them do different things. Some bill by the hour. Mine charges me a larger lump sum one time a year. I cannot stand to be nickel and dime. So I said, hey, I will pay you extra at this time of the year. No problem, no questions asked. But when I call you and annoy you throughout the year, you just deal with it. And he does. If I tell him to call me a year from now at 11:37 a.m., he calls me at 11:37 a.m. a year from now. The other thing about that is you want to meet with them about the third quarter of every year to make sure that you have time to adjust for your taxes. When you're self-employed, it's a whole different world when you talk about taxes. You don't have your employer taking out your chunks and sending them for you. So if you're taking a $4,000 a month salary, you need to automatically put whatever your CPA says, but generally we take 30% right off the top and put it into a separate bank account. We pretend like that money is not ours. A lot of the small businesses that we help and we consult don't do that. They didn't have this video to listen to. They didn't have that mentor to basically tell them, hey, take 25, 30% right away and put it in a separate account, and you have to pay that quarterly to the government. If you don't, you think you're making great, you're spending money, you're living life, all of a sudden now you're hit with a $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 tax bill, and you can't pay it. Now your business is done. So I know I kind of jumped around a little bit. That's how I am. I have the attention span of a squirrel. But the truth of the matter is when it comes to money, get your EIN set up, get a banking relationship set up, get your company debit card that you only use for business,